Today, I want to talk about why you might be feeling empty, even though you're doing everything right. You know, you can do everything you know to do and still wake up feeling like something is missing. And that's one of the hardest places to be. You're trying, you're showing up, you're carrying your responsibilities, you are doing your best to stay decent, steady, faithful, productive, alive inside of all the things that keep pulling on you. From the outside, it might look like you're doing okay, maybe even better than okay. But inside, it feels flat. You keep moving, but you don't feel connected to where your life is going. You keep putting one foot in front of the other, but it does not feel like purpose. It feels like maintenance, and it feels like you're just surviving. It feels like doing what has to be done while some quiet part of you keeps asking, is this it? Is this all my life is going to feel like? And that question can wear a person down, can't it? Because when you feel lost while making bad choices, at least you know what to point at. At least you can say, well, that's the problem. But when you're trying to live right and still feel empty, it gets confusing. It can make you wonder what is wrong with you. It can make you question your heart, your future, your worth, even your relationship with God. A lot of good people live there longer than they admit. They keep doing what needs to be done. They keep paying their bills. They keep helping other people. They keep trying to become better. They keep praying when they can't, and they keep holding themselves together in public. But deep down, they are tired of feeling like they're pouring effort into a life that just does not feel alive. So let me say this to you plainly. Feeling that way does not mean you are failing. It does not mean you've missed your calling. And it does not mean God has forgotten you. It does not mean your life has no purpose, because that's not the truth. Just because you cannot feel it clearly right now does not mean big things are not coming your way. Some of the most important seasons of your life will not look important while you're in them. And that's hard for us because we want purpose to feel obvious, don't we? We want it to feel strong. We want it to come with direction, energy, and some clear sign that what we're doing matters. We want to feel fire. We want to feel movement. We want to feel chosen in a way that we can recognize. You know, a lot of God's work in a person's life does not happen out in the open. A lot of it happens in quiet places. It happens while you're being stretched. It happens while you're learning endurance. It happens while your heart is being made deeper. And it happens while when old pride is being pulled out of you. It happens while your motives are being cleaned up. It happens while your soul is learning how to stay close to God without applause, without fast results, and without the kind of life that makes other people impressed. That kind of season can feel empty when actually it's fuller than we even know at the time. And it can feel hidden because even though it's holy, it just doesn't feel like the excitement that society tells us should be happening when something big is going on. And it can feel pointless when it's actually preparing you for something you're not strong enough to carry yet. You know, we do live in a world that teaches us to measure meaning by visible results. And if it's not growing, well, it must not matter. And if it's not big, it must not be purpose. If nobody sees it, well, then it must not count. And if it does not feel exciting, it must not be God. That way of thinking will drain the life out of you. Because some of the deepest purpose in your life will never look flashy. It may look like staying kind when you're worn thin. It may look like refusing to become bitter. It may look like taking care of what's in front of you with honesty. And it may look like getting back up again when your emotions are not helping you. It may look like being faithful in a season that gives you very little emotional reward at all. But you know what? It still matters more than you'll ever know. There are people who think purpose means standing on a stage, building something huge, or doing something that can be pointed at and named. Sometimes it does, but a lot of the time, purpose is much quieter than that. Purpose can be hidden inside of obedience. Purpose can be hidden inside of restraint. Purpose can be hidden inside the slow forming of your character. And if you're in that season where you feel numb, it may not mean there is nothing there. It may mean you've been carrying so much for so long that your heart is tired. And that's different, because a tired heart does not always know how to feel hope clearly. A worn down soul does not always know how to recognize meaning while it's buried under pressure. You may not be empty because your life has no purpose. You may feel empty because you've been giving so much of yourself without enough room to breathe, enough room to heal, enough room to sit long enough to hear what God is doing beneath all the noise. And sometimes the problem is not that your life has no meaning. Sometimes the problem is that you are too exhausted to sense it. And that's why this matters so much. You do not need to shame yourself for being tired. You do not need to attack yourself for not feeling inspired. You do not need to pretend that doing your best automatically feels good. Some seasons feel heavy, and that's okay because we're humans. Some seasons feel dry. Some seasons feel like you're walking through fog. That does not mean God is absent. It means you're human, and God knows exactly how to meet a human being in the middle of that kind of weakness. He's not standing over you disappointed because you do not feel purposeful enough. He's not looking at you and saying, try harder. Doesn't do any of that. He sees the part nobody else sees. He sees how hard you've been trying to stay upright inside your own mind. He sees the weight you never say out loud. He sees the effort behind your ordinary days. He sees the tears you have swallowed, the prayers that came out tired and broken and half finished. You know what, my friend? He sees you. And that matters because purpose does not begin with you figuring everything out. Purpose begins with being known by God even when you do not understand your own season. You do not have to feel powerful for your life to still be in God's hands. You do not have to feel clear for your steps to matter. You do not have to feel full of passion every single day for your obedience to still carry weight in heaven. There are seasons when your purpose is not to shine. Your purpose is to stay close. Your purpose is to keep your heart soft. Sometimes your purpose is to not give up, to not give up on God in a moment where it would be easy to go numb and drift. That's not small, and it's not nothing. It's sacred. And one day, you're going to look back on this season and realize that what felt like delay was formation. What felt like emptiness was God stripping away false measurements. What felt like stagnation was actually the slow building of a life with deeper roots. You are not behind because your journey does not look loud right now. You are not wasted because your progress feels hidden right now. You are not without purpose because you cannot name the whole picture yet. Sometimes purpose is not a spotlight. Sometimes it's a quiet yes. Sometimes it's staying faithful before you understand why. Sometimes it's trusting that God is doing real work in places nobody can see, including you. So if you've been doing everything you know to do and still feel empty, I want you to breathe. Do not call your life meaningless too soon. Do not decide God is absent just because the season is quiet. It doesn't mean it's not going to get loud. Do not confuse hidden growth with no growth. You may be closer to something real than you think. Keep walking with God. Keep bringing Him the truth. Keep showing up. Keep letting Him form you in the dark places. The life you are living is not worthless because it feels ordinary. The effort you are giving is not meaningless because the results are unclear. You are not forgotten because your purpose is still unfolding. God is not done with your life, not even close. What feels silent may still be sacred. What feels slow may still be shaping you. What feels unseen may still matter more than you can imagine. Hold on. Your life is not empty. You are being prepared, and it's going to be beautiful. My name is Douglas Vandergraph, and I believe in Jesus Christ. God bless every single one of you. Every single one.